Today I'm here with a really special guest, Shafik. I've been seeing your ads all over Singapore, all over my Facebook, my Instagram. I think we connected a few months, maybe almost a year ago.
Correct.
And yeah, really happy to have you here, man.
Thank you for having me.
I just want to go straight into it and ask you a little bit more about your background because you don't really have any official website or whatever, but I've seen you get your Platinum Award. Congrats on that. But I've read bits and pieces of stories on Facebook where you talk about how you were a cleaner in the past. And you're like, oh my God, tell me more about that.
When I graduated from my part-time uni, I was trying to look for a job. I couldn't get a job. I tried very, very hard. So I felt that at that point of time, I started to work for this company. Not sure if you heard of it, called Coupling.
No.
So what they do is that they connect freelance cleaners to whoever who need house cleaning services.
Sorry, let me pause you there. Were in uni, but you became a cleaner.
Yeah, I just couldn't get a job. So I felt that I needed to survive.
Okay, I'm sorry, let me just clarify then. Why couldn't you get a job if you were from a uni background? Because personally for me, I'm a dropout, I'm probably dropout. I finished my diploma, private diploma, and I could get plenty of jobs.
It didn't work out. I went for interviews, going for third round, fourth round, just couldn't get. I think maybe at that point of time, then confused with a difficult.
Okay, yeah, interesting. Okay, but
I never had any luck. Okay, never had any luck. So I needed to survive at that point of time. So there was this startup that came about. It was called Helpling. So what he did was that they connect freelancers to people who need cleaning services in houses. So I worked for that. Initially started off as $20 an hour, which was very good for me at that point of time.
Yeah, that's in Singapore. $20 an hour is pretty great.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's now it's better. I think they are charging the client. So it was like Grab, but it was like for cleaning.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So I started doing that. I felt that there was a market for, while doing that, I felt that there was a market for post-renovation cleaning services. There was a market for end-of-tenancy cleaning services. So that was when I decided to go into that. I started my own website and I did Google Ads. I got a lot of people inquiring.
How old were you at this point and which year was this?
I think I'm 37 this year. So I think at that point of time I was probably 23. Wow. That's a lot. Yeah. So I did that for the first 2 years. And then my current wife, we decided that we wanted to get married. So I felt that I needed some CPF coming in. So I just got, while doing this, I was getting orders and I was doing it on my own. I was cleaning houses. I basically had one cleaner. I was the cleaner. And then I had many others that came along. And then I joined with a commercial cleaning company, supposedly to run the residential cleaning business because they are very strong in commercial, so they wanted to get into residential with my expertise. Some stuff happened because it was a family-run business, so some stuff happened along the way. And along the way, they decided to dissolve this residential part, which I was initially keen for. And they decided to force me to wherever their contracts are and to do cleaning. They call it, the industry term, they call it float cleaner. So whenever like this trick is down in manpower, I would go and clean. And then like Scott Square, for example, they are supposedly this morning, they're supposed to have 6 people, but only 5 people turn up. So they're making one cleaner. So they'll call me to go to a fair, clean, done in the afternoon. Okay, here's title. Okay, then they'll call me. Okay, Center Point have got another needs and other cleaner. Then you please go, they call it float cleaning. So I was doing that and I was like, no, I think I've been in the cleaning industry for close to 10 years.
Wow, you stayed in the cleaning industry for a decade.
I was very unhappy in that cleaning company towards the last clinic because I was just thrown around and basically I was overqualified for the job and I cheated doing cleaning and all this kind of stuff during the cleaners. And I figured out that I wanted to do something but I didn't know what it was. At that point of time I just got married, about to collect my BTO house keys. I thought that I needed a job. I just did on until I figured out what I wanted.
If you don't mind sharing, how much were you averaging a month as a cleaner back then?
Very little. I think with overtime and all those, I think on the average I'm bringing back about 1,000 to 2,000.
And you got married and you got a BTO.
Yeah. Save up.
Wow.
Yeah.
You must have been saving 95% of your income, and
I guess so. I didn't have much expenses. I didn't really spend on myself. I was riding a bike till I was 40. Okay. Yeah. Then in between also after my cleaning, full-time cleaning job, I was cleaning assignments from my previous clients. I was bringing it. Getting some income from there as well.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's very cool.
Yep.
And then, so you went from like 1,002 to getting platinum, which is 100K a month in Realtor, right?
Yes, correct.
Emissions. How did you even take your first step into property?
Okay, so at that point, while working in the cleaning, this commercial cleaning company, I was very unhappy because of the way I was being treated by the bosses. I spoke to my wife and I told her that maybe I should consider doing real estate. She was supportive initially, studied for the exam, and passed it while working, and then I took 1 year to save up.
and then I became a full-time engineer after 1 year. It's just like, yeah. Was the exams easy or difficult? Because from what I hear from my current friends who are doing it, they can't seem to pass it as easily as maybe perhaps during your time.
So for me, it was that I knew that I had to pass it because I was working full time. I was very unhappy in my current job. I cannot see myself doing that for another 1 to 2 years anymore. So I had something that I really wanted. So what I did was, and at the very same time, I couldn't quit my cleaning job. So what I did was that I had a company van every day before I go back home. I finish work about 9 p.m. I would tell my wife that they only coming back at 10 p.m. But I reach home 9 p.m. So I'll go to one corner of the multi-story car park because at that point of time I didn't have a house. I was living with my in-laws waiting for BTO itself. But just study, and I was really 100% study. And I'll practice at the van.
Wow.
In the multi-story car park. So that drive was that.
Wow. Because you were actually unhappy at the end of the 10 years in the company, that was the driving factor pushing you to go teaching into a car park was dying.
Correct.
Okay.
And I didn't have a proper study space at that point of time. I couldn't afford to study anywhere else. So I just said, I have to then make the best use of the resources. Well, I had to study. I had to pass, so I had to study. So basically, whoever who wants to pass the exam, you cannot do it without study. You have to study.
So the secret is just studying and putting in the hours.
Yeah. Study, and then if you have time, go back and constantly keep revising and revising and revising. And I passed it within the first try.
Okay, wow. That's awesome. I mean,
Well, waiting full time.
wow. My friends watching this, those who cannot pass, listen to his words. Wow, okay, that's cool. So tell me more about after you passed the exams, how was your life like? What did you do next in the next few steps?
So after I passed, I got my license, and what I did was that I felt that I wasn't ready to quit my job yet. Reason being is that I had to make sure that I had at least 6 months of expenses, my daily expenses saved up for, so that once I quit my job, I'm able to focus on my real estate career full-time, 100%, without worrying about like expenses. Okay, how am I going to put food on the table for this month because I have these expenses yet? And after the 6 months, if let's say I don't have quit in real estate, that's when I'll look for a full-time job onto Grab or whatsoever. 1 year after passing, I took that time to save up to the desired amount. I just fabricate what's my fixed expenses per month. If I keep my life very simple, times 6 of that. So that was the amount that I was supposed to have. I think about 6,000, 6 to 7,000. At that point in time, it was quite a huge sum for me. It took me about 1 to 2 years to save up. During this course of 1 year while saving up, I spoke to many managers, those who are divergent, and asked them whether I could join their team and just to get to know their file and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, so it took me 1 year. Kind of, wow.
Okay. And who did you choose in the end and why?
I choose my current manager, his name is Ayub. So what I felt that we really got along was basically the gut feel that when I spoke to him, he was the only manager that was supportive of me saving up. The rest of the mentors and managers that I spoke to, a lot of them were pressurizing me to join them immediately. They didn't care that, look, I've got fixed expenses, real estate, you're not going to be paying me a salary. While I'm doing real estate, while I'm transitioning, who is going to be paying for my bills, who is going to be paying for my mortgage and my renovation loan, they didn't care. All they cared about is about me joining them so that they can earn an income of me immediately. Whether I perform, whether I survive, whether I sing, they didn't care. Very hard done. Ufrayi was the only one that really understood. He said that's fine. Take your time to save up. You are supposed to take months of savings. At the moment you have your fixed month of savings, you must be disciplined enough to quit a job and focus onto this, and you will do well because you can focus on do it 100%. That's why I decided to join.
Wow, okay. So it was just a genuine caring on his side that got you to him. Okay,
Gut feel.
Okay, gut feel. Nice. Many years. Listen up. But okay. That's interesting. Then how did you close your first client after that?
Okay, so when I first joined, I was very, very worried because, like everything in life, when you press start or something, like you quit your job, your wife is going to work, you are sitting at home, you don't feel good as a man of the family and everything. So definitely I was very worried. So how I closed my first deal was that Ayub encouraged me to be a little bit loud on social media, which I wasn't when I was working in the tech income state. And I just told everyone through a social media post that, look, I just started real estate agent. I hope to really serve you if you decide to give me a chance. And just wanted to be loud, reach out to all my friends. And one of my contacts, he was a former air steward working full-time in the hotel industry. He just turned 35. He was working out. He says that, Shafik, I really hope to support you. If you can help me sign this out, I'll go through you. And he was my third client.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
Was it like a 1% or 2%?
It was a 1%, but at that point of time, I wasn't focused on the income.
Yeah.
I was focusing on the transition from my full-time job to a full-time real estate agent. So whatever that comes along the way, in between, I had like many people calling me, Shafik, do you want to do the room rental? My mom had been trying to rent out her common rooms and all this kind of stuff. I said, okay, no problem, I'll just take. I was just focused on getting to the activity of real estate, transitioning into it.
Okay, well, cool. So that friend was your first client.
Yep.
And then what happened after that? Take me through the next few steps.
So after that, the thing with in the company itself, we meet up with other real estate agents. They have like within the company itself, they have training sections and all that. So one of the things that really I felt that I needed to do something to get co-client hit. I felt that the problem with many agents is that they tend to rely too much on referral. And what if the referrals run out? Your friends at that month itself nobody's referring to your meeting. What can you do? So at that point of time, I decided to do co-marketing. Try to get these and the core market, people that I do not know. Okay, so they were saying that, Shafik, why not? One of the trainings actually said that why not we do something called for sale by owners, for rent by owners, whereby these owners, they have worked with many agents and they still couldn't find a tenant or the buyer for their house. So they post it and leave this out it, open up to everyone. So I just approached it with a bit. And then when I finally got like 1 or 2 listings, there were 30 other agents marketing it. But I see it's fine. I'll just continue doing it. I never know when my luck is penalty. The buyer might just decide to contact me. And I get a free closing from there. And that really helped me a lot in the transition. So I got the referrals coming in. I got my for sale by owners coming in as well. But I wasn't doing very well, but I was transitioning very, very well. I thought that the transition would take me more than 6 months, but actually it took me within 2 months of closing deals and everything. At the same time, I was thinking that it's still very simple. So I wasn't spending a lot.
So in the first 60 days, you already technically had a bunch of closes.
Yeah, correct. Wow. And it meant a lot to me because it was really a lifeline because I wasn't spending. I didn't have a car at that point of time. I wasn't really spending much on myself whatsoever. So whatever that comes in, house big or house small, it really helped me in my transition a lot. Gave me that confidence.
Okay. So in the first 60 days, you already had a bunch of closes and then the momentum just kept going.
Correct.
Did you niche down? Because right now you're telling me you're doing rental, you're doing property, you're doing etc. etc. Did you niche down or what was your plan after that happening?
Basically, I was focused any closing. Anything that allows me to transition, I would do. Room rental, unit rental, houses that are being marketed by 40 to 50 agents, I was getting it that.
Okay.
Wow, just go in with an open mind. And then I figured out that after I knew what I wanted, I started to get more stable. That's when I'll focus on what I want to have a niche in. So I was just doing that. Yeah, just focusing.
How long were you doing that for?
I think for the first year I was doing that, I didn't have a proper direction. But at least the first year of doing a real estate in fact was in fact being very open to everything.
Okay.
Right.
And then once the year passed, how did you start niching down or what caused you to niche out?
Okay, so it was a funny event. So what actually happened was that there was this ex-colleague of mine who was my services to sell it out and to help him buy. And this guy, when we were colleagues, he was a very nice guy. And I need to go get along, make a go for lunch or whatsoever. But the moment he became my client, oh my God, he was a horrible client. Like I'd never seen a cheap guy like that, a guy who tells you one thing, like I promise you 1%, and then when you finally get the buyer in, I'm sorry, I can only give you 0.5%. And this guy was my ex-colleague, and we were very close once upon a time. He was doing that to me. Then I was figuring out that I still persevered. I dropped at that point aside. Look, I'm going to be long in this business. I'm going to meet a difficult client. When I first got this client, then he got me thinking, hey, if I keep relying on my referrals and my own circles, there will come to a point where I'll have to serve that. No matter how difficult they are, I have no choice because I don't have any other leads. I have to serve that. No matter how difficult they are, how unreasonable they are. So I don't even have to find a way to market myself in such a way whereby, yes, the referrals still coming, but at the very same time, I have a good source of earnings coming in as well. people that I do not have. So I dabbled a little bit in social media. I started getting software like house tunes and others, putting up mimicking other related agents, putting up videos together, trying on the Facebook ads, trying on the Instagram ads, trying to get contacts coming in. Had a few. They were mainly fans, little fan of stuff. So I was getting some followers from there, and then I decided that there was a growing need of HDB upgraded people who are same age as me, people who I can relate to, people who I can get along with. So maybe I should do content related to HDB upgraders. And so I started doing more videos of myself talking specifically about HDB upgrading. That when I created a niche for myself, I get a lot of traction from that because I felt that point of time there was lots of listening professionals out there. Husband is a professional, wife is a professional, they are both Muslim. They wanted housing agent who was able to relate to that according to their needs, their family, their religion. Being professionals, they want to be spoken to in a certain kind of way. I started having traction with these people when I started putting up educational videos like this because you see nobody else in the Muslim market, Indian Muslim, Malay Muslims are doing stuff like this. So I got a lot of traction from that.
Okay, cool. And that's where you built out your niche and everything, correct? Okay. Are you planning to stay in this niche, or do you want to expand out? Do you want to go into like the condo private? Because like recently, I think there was
I started the venturing out into selling projects. Basically, just have a project site written that will be developer, do Google Ads, get people in, bring them social sets, started closing. Had a couple of closings from there, but I felt very unhappy to leave it. Why? Because there is no referral. So whenever people click on a project website, let's say Treasure at Tampines, for example, I'm trying to sell this project, you will just click on it. See, I want to see the show flat now. Call you. See them in the show flat, show that, then they leave, they disappear. You follow up with them, you don't hear from them anymore. It's a law of average. You do 60 of this, eventually you have one closing. Okay. And I felt that though, even though that one closing I could get like potentially 50 to 60K, I really hated doing that. It's like there is no rapport with that client. Basically, you just say, sell, move on. That's a tough man.
So even though the money was extremely high, much higher than your usual, correct, you were unhappy.
I was very unhappy. So I told myself that which one I had the most happiness serving and doing, which gets me a good income. Maybe not as good as that project itself, but it gets me a good income. I'm very happy so that I can see myself doing it for the long term and I can be consistent at it. And then when I reflected back, say, look, going back, it's all HDB upgrading. I feel very passionate about HDB upgrading. I can relate to that client. The client is appreciative of my services. I have that knowledge to serve them very well. I should bank in onto this niche and hopefully I'll be able to earn an income very well from her.
That's such a great holistic mindset, honestly speaking. Because when you tell me about like 50K per project that you sell and then you tell me you're unhappy, I think there's a lot of people out there that want to focus on these, correct, I'm assuming. But then they don't realize that at the end of the day, it comes at an expense if they don't have that connection that you are seeking.
Correct. So in 2021, I still remember, I was focusing a little bit on HDB upgraders and I was focusing a little bit on these projects. So I had some closings here, I had some closings here. That was the best year I've ever had. But the project side was taking up a lot of my time, taking away time from this HDB upgrading. And whenever I had to go through this project, I had to serve clients from this project, even though I could see that I was fairly successful, but I was very unhappy. So I told myself that in 2022, I was going to focus 100% on HDB upgrading. I'm going to put up more content, more videos, do Facebook ads to get these people in. I'm going to stop project ads altogether. And I managed to hit in 2022, 95% of what I got in 2021. Even though 2021 was my best year. Okay, but I was so happy. I was a lot more happier. I was very sustainable. I felt good relationships with my clients and I felt very happy with that 95%. And in 2023, I intend to focus onto that 100%.
Wow, that's awesome. Do you mind revealing the numbers? How were you averaging? Because I know you were a cleaner, you're doing 1,000-ish.
Alright, so I would say that as a cleaner, I was earning on the average $20,000 to $20,000 the most per year. In 2021, which was my best year, I was earning $650K for the year. I had earned 600
pre-tax, post-tax.
Yeah, pre-tax.
Okay.
In 2022, I earned about 600K per year for 2022. And to me, I believe that income is it's important. But if I can consider, the way I see it is that I'm going to be long-term in this industry, right? As long as I can hit 500K every year, pre-tax, I'll be very happy. Yeah, very, very happy. Some people, they want to earn 1 million, 2 million. Yes, it's good, but I also feel that you have to see it from a holistic point of view. As long as I can earn 500K per year serving HDB upgraders, I think that would be something that I'll be very competitive.
You have a very holistic vibe. Like when I see your ads, I love watching your ads. They're like so complete, so informative, not salesy at all. And I mean, I always watch your ads. I literally screen record it, send it to my friends in group chats. Hey, look at his ads, man. Because my friends were studying for exams. Like, you should model him, talk to him, and etc. So like, I really love your ads. I'm assuming your ads are doing really well.
I would say so. When I start, okay, so the thing with ads is that you have to come in from the perspective of adding value to your target market. Yeah, so, and the ad that you do, what you talk, what you speak in that video itself, it must be something that relates to them. Something that is ad worthy. Meaning to say, after them watching, they would save it and they would be in touch with you whenever they need your services. And these are your target clients. A lot of the agents, I noticed that when they do ads, it's about them, what's the word for it? Flashing. Is it flashing? They like to show off their nice stuff, how successful they are, the cars they drive, the clothes that they carry, the income that they earn for that month itself, hoping that the clients will be attracted to their flashiness and then decided to have them in as an agent. But I felt that wasn't adding value to your target market, right? Yeah, so that was my focus and I got a lot of attention from there.
Well, how did you like get started into current set of ads? Did you model after someone in the US or did you see someone in Singapore? What was your process like when you were thinking, okay, this is the kind of ads I want to run?
Basically, I'm putting myself in the shoes of the client. Okay, right now in my mind, I have the ideal client, the HDB upgrader. What are the problems that they are facing? And these are all my clients. I've met with them, I've spoken to them, they have sent inquiries to me. What are their main concerns? What are their problems? So basically, I come from this perspective and I do a video based on me speaking to overcome that one problem. So each video, one problem. I cannot do 4 or 5 problems in one video, it's just too long. And I come from an angle whereby I put myself in the perspective of my target clients. If I were to watch this video, will I be clicking on this and contacting this agent if I'm in need of this service? So I come from this angle. Yeah, and it worked for me.
Well, I mean, it's a huge source of your needs right now, I assume, or is it 50-50 referrals? What is the percentage right now?
So basically 90% of my clients are from this videos.
Wow.
Yeah. Out of these 90%, of course, maybe one way or another, it is from my videos. Some of them organically, they contact me. Some of them through ads, through these videos. Of course, the base of it is the videos. And 10% will be from the referral. And referrals will be from these guys. I serve them very well, the videos guys, the first time, and then they refer their friend.
That's an interesting thing. How about like other platforms like Property Guru and all those classics that agents pay for? Are those not of use anymore to you, or do you just focus on social media? What's the way you go about this?
They are of use to other agents, but in my case, I've tried them a few times. It doesn't work for me.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it does get me here and there, but these are not my target clients, so I cannot prioritize them.
Okay.
Like Property Guru was having like featured agent for like specific estates like Tambins. I tried that once and I felt that it wasn't giving me the return from investment as well as 60 days.
Wow, that's interesting. So I'm assuming you are currently spending a portion of your income every single month on ads, or do you not have a set amount that you put aside every month for ads?
Basically, any commission that comes in, $100, $100,000, doesn't matter the amount, 30% of it goes to my business account. And this business account itself would be solely reliable for my ads. So I don't monitor to the point of how much I'm spending every month, but I would say that on the average, if you're talking about Facebook and Instagram ads, I would set myself a budget of about $3,000 per month. Yeah.
Okay. And do you have a team running it, or are you the only person doing it?
I'm the only person doing it. I tried using an agency once, but I felt that this agency is not good because they couldn't understand my target market very well. So they were promoting videos that didn't resonate in my target market. They just don't have an understanding. I did some shit.
Okay. Wow, that's interesting. You run everything on your own. I do. How do you have the time? You have a baby, right?
Yeah.
And you have a wife and you're doing so much. How do you have time?
First and foremost, you start early. I try to start early almost every single day. I try to be in my office at around 7 a.m.
So I'll be around 8 a.m. So what time do you wake up every day?
I wake up about 5:30 thereabout.
Wow.
And then leave for the office, go to the office, focus on my videos at least from 7 to about 12 p.m. And then then have lunch, rest for a while. from 1 o'clock to about 5 o'clock, I would be doing my operations work. Okay, what does the client need? Get everything done, and paperwork and those kind of stuff. Get in touch, and then after 5, have dinner, and then quickly do my online viewings in the evenings. Sunday, the full day is on viewings. Monday, I try to take the day off, don't schedule anything in, spend time with the family, and he definitely have got enough time. But like I said once again, if you choose your business to serve clients that you really resonate with, you really can get along, you're really happy to serve them. It doesn't feel like work at all.
That's key. I completely agree with you. Correct, that's key. Yeah, from nightmare clients all the way to the ideal ones that you look forward to.
Correct. The best part is that if you're very disciplined to the point that you're putting up videos, you're prospecting daily, there will come to a point of time whereby you can choose the client. Like right now, whenever I get dedicated clients, I'm very proud to see, although I don't do it often, but I have the ability to say no to them. Whenever they do not want to pay me the market rate, I have the ability to say no to that. Why? Because I'm very disciplined in prospecting, in getting my target clients, so I have very good flow of target client always coming. Yeah.
Well, okay. Besides discipline and having a niche and going in the mindset of serving people that you resonate with, obviously, what sets you apart from other agents, in your own opinion? Why would an HD operator come to you instead of someone else?
Okay, why would they come to me? I would say that a more holistic point of view, at this point of time, there are lots of agents out there. They want to close the deal, right? So they will tell to the operator that, look, this is the best price that you can do. In fact, see, for example, their house is worth 500,000. Obviously, to get 500,000, the agents would have to work a little bit harder. So what a lot of agents are doing is that, look, they will convince the client to sell at $450,000, right? Obviously, when they sell at $450,000, they can sell very fast. Within first viewing, they can sell because it's an undervalued property, right? But for me, my approach is a little bit different, whereby I feel that, look, if we can potentially get $500,000, I would tell to my clients that, look, let us try first. Let's try. No harm trying. If really cannot, we bring it down gradually. I'm willing to work hard for you if you give me that trust and give me that ability to market and the time to. So I guess it's like what sets me apart is, I believe, honesty, trustworthiness, reliability, very important. And another thing is that whenever anybody messages me, where any one of my clients messages me, I will make it a point to reply to that within 10 minutes. Within 15 minutes.
Within 10 minutes.
Sometimes one of the feedback that I always got, okay, just put yourself in the perspective of an operator, right? Whenever I have a question, right, and I asked the agent, it'd be very nice and very reassuring if you'd have replied to me immediately, right? And the problem that they're facing is that many agents don't take their own sweet time to reply. They don't look at their phone they don't have that level of commitment or service to their client. But to me, I have that level of commitment. My phone is always with me. I would do my best to reply to them. If I cannot send them a message, I immediately reply to them. I will send them a voice message. I'll call them. That's my commitment to my client. So what sets me apart is my commitment to target client that I really feel passionate about. I really enjoy serving. Yeah.
Wow. That's so deep, man.
Yeah, I feel that. Correct.
Wow, reply within 10 minutes. I mean, okay. Wow. That's a lot.
The feedback that I've received is that, Shafik, no matter how much you're selling, right, you're replying very fast. So that's something that I really want to.
Well, do you have like a cap amount of clients you take in per month right now at this point, plus of all the work that you have to put in?
In terms of my target clients, the upgraders, I'll take in as many as possible. But whenever I got non-targeted clients like direct buyers or sellers, those kind, I'll see my situation. If I'm really too busy, I'm serving my targeted client, and they come in, I would outsource them to my associate. So I don't really have a specific cap here.
Wow, alright, nice. Then, like you just mentioned associates, I'm assuming now you are in the team building phase.
In a way, yeah.
Have you always been
80-20? 80% I'm focusing on my own field. 20% I am recruiting. Yeah, 80%, yeah.
Tell me more about that. What are you looking for in your next few agents? Do you want them to be exactly like you? Do you want them to have their own target market? What if they want to do those big projects, right?
Every one of them should have their own niche. Things that they really enjoy serving. Clients that they really enjoy serving. Stuff that actually please them. Stuff that they actually feel very passionate about. Clients that they feel very passionate about. Basically, they have to have a niche. right? What other stuff am I looking for in these associates? Number one, they have to have a niche. Number two, they have to have that never say die attitude. Never give up. Because trust me, in this line of work, if you never give up, you stay true and you meet the disappointments and you overcome it, just like everything else in life, you'll be successful. So basically, go-getters. And number three, it would be agents who treat running the real estate business like a business. A lot of the agents that some of them I've rejected, they've come up to me and they have that very employee mentality. Look, I'm going to join you. You have to give me a salary. You have to give me leads. I want to use your Property Guru account. They don't have any savings to start up this business. They don't want to invest any savings. They see to it like a job. 5 o'clock, I don't want to work. I don't want to tell any of my friends that I'm a real estate agent. What? Yeah. Those kind of stuff. So basically, people who are proud to be real estate agents, people who see doing this as their own small business. Yeah. These are the people that I'm looking out for.
Okay. Real estate is slightly different from insurance in the sense that insurance, you're selling a product that might not happen to you, like an injury or an accident. Real estate is like an actual house.
Correct.
What would you say to someone from the insurance industry hopping over to the real estate industry and vice versa? Do you have any pieces of advice for them?
I would say that in this business, once again, not only insurance agents, but anyone else per se, but more specifically towards real insurance agents, is that 80-20 once again. 80% of your time has to be prospecting. 20% of your time has to be selling houses, those kind. Because you have to take note, selling houses, the house will sell on its own. Most of the houses will sell on its own. The hardest part in real estate was getting a constant flow of new clients always coming in. Because unlike insurance, where you're being paid an income of the premium every single month, from what I understand, real estate is a one-time thing. So just imagine, have you had spent 80% of your time just trying to sell houses and doing operations, trying to sell your current inventory? What happens when you sell everything already? You've not been prospecting, right? Then how? You got no clients, right? Yeah, so you have to have that mentality whereby you have to spend 80% of the time setting up systems, constantly looking for clients, and 20% of it, once you collect a house, the listings, understand the fact that you do your bets, but the listing will generally sell out to one. Okay, wow.
That's true. I mean, 80-20.
Think of it from the perspective of all the successful agents. Like, prop next, we have Chanel, we have Navin Bhavna, we have Property Brothers. What are they very consistent with? Like Chanel Liu is a multi-millionaire. She has been hitting number one PropNext for many, many years. She's been multiple multi-millionaires for many, many years. She's very strong in which prospecting method? One prospecting method. She's very strong in the flyers. Really? Nobody can beat her in flyers. Right? That's the best of her. We have Property Brothers who are very strong in social media. We have another agent called Yuna Lim from SEA. She's super strong in flyers as well. But basically, you need to choose one prospecting method, go 10x in it, and be consistent in it. Prospecting is the way to go.
Okay, that's really good. Correct, good advice. I want to ask you, do you feel like right now it's getting a bit too saturated for someone to become a realtor? For the people watching this video, maybe they want to be a real estate agent or they hear your success story, they are motivated. Do you think they should take the leap of faith, or would you recommend they try something else in their own opinion?
I would see that when I first had this conversation when I wanted to join real estate, I spoke to the older crowds and we say that, look, the market is so saturated, how do you think that you're going to do well? And then I spoke to one of my friends. My friend said something that really resonated with me. He said that, Shafik, you think, right, even though people say that the market is very saturated, but why do you think that there are still many real estate agents out there? Because there is really a market. There is really money to be made out there. So, just join and do to the best of your ability. Don't worry so much. There is money to be made. But you have to be one of the best. And you have to commit yourself to the close best. And you have to commit yourself to be the best. It's never just that.
Well, that's true. I think people always say, any industry, this is saturated, that's saturated, don't try. But I think what you have shown today is, as long as you try, you put your best foot forward and you keep going, you can do it.
You must constantly add value to your, identify your target market, the one that you within the serving, you've mentioned about serving them. Constantly, everything that you do add value to it. Just have this mentality and you'll be one of the best in the industry.
Wow. Okay. What's next for you now that I guess you have it all figured out, sort of, in terms of you know what to do. You have a certain amount of cash flow. Uh, you have your niche. You're also building your team. What's next for you for the next 1 year at least?
For the next 1 year, I would say that my immediate aim is to get my second property, get that property rented out, earn a rental income from that. And once I have a good amount of passive income coming from this rental property, I intend to focus a lot more on recruitment.
Okay.
Yeah. So just recruit people, do more video content to add value to our recruitment stuff, like-minded guy, and maybe take a little bit, still serve my operating clients as well, but not as much as now. But I definitely want to recruit them.
You know, it's interesting. People tell me they want to recruit in both industries, the realtor and the insurance agency.
Correct.
Some people actually earn more money just focusing on themselves and prospecting and closing more cases. And some people recruit and then they might not find as much money involved, and then they sort of give up and go back to just doing it on their own. What's your reasoning to recruit?
Eventually, right, you'll come to a point of time where you're always transacting, you just feel very tired. You're all constantly running around, and you cannot keep up with the guys who are in their early 20s who are just joining the industry with so much of reason, so much of drive, so much of energy. So eventually, you have to find a way to earn a passive income. And it's very fulfilling when you mentor somebody with your wealth of knowledge, your wealth of experience, and you see them doing well. And of course, you're earning a small income from that. So just imagine if you have 10 of this and you're doing as well as how you work, and because of you, we are paying down that. And you earn a small income from that. So I would say that recruitment is okay, but it's not for everyone. Some people are better contractors. Some people are better recruiters. Some people are better managers. Yeah. You have to figure out what's good for you.
What are you?
I'm still figuring out, but I would say that I really enjoy recruiting and I enjoy training.
Okay.
One of the things that I feel that is missing for guys who recruit is that they don't provide value. Yeah. So whenever I want to join somebody, they'll speak to me about why I should join them. But in their head, is that they have to understand that they're not having the conversation of how they can add value when they recruit. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Well, everything about you is so holistic. Family, right? You have all this niche, you have this mindset. How did you become this way? Like, if I were to really dig down into your childhood, into your upbringing, were you affected by any extreme events? How did you become so resilient with so much grit in you?
Understand? Okay. Like you pointed that out. Growing up, I would say that my dad, my late father, was a very successful guy. In his own field, he was in the metalworks construction business. In the 1970s, for a minority to be a general manager of a Japanese company, 1970s, 1980s, wow, I would say 1980s, okay, was really a big thing. And in a Japanese company, and then he quit the job to start his own project management business, and he became very successful. And the thing about my dad is that very flashy. He was very boastful. He thinks that he's on top of the world. He's there because of his abilities. He's there because of his hard work. And I was there to notice everything, right? And then suddenly during 1997, everything just went down. No matter what he did, no matter how well he did things, no matter how hard he worked, it just didn't turn out for him. It just didn't come to it. Just crashed. But he wasn't doing very well. He ended up being a security guard, and that was towards the end of his life. And that really had a very, I would say, an outcome onto how I see things from there. Because I feel that you have to have that understanding whereby you might think that you are here because of your efforts. You might think that you're successful because of your efforts, your hard work. But if you do not have that belief that this too shall pass, everything will be taken away from you. And when it gets taken away from you, and you're not humble enough, it just gets taken away. So you must always remain humble, must always constantly have value.
Okay. Well, so you saw that from your dad, and that caused you to be the way you are today.
Yep. I always have that quote in my head. I think Tom Hanks actually said that in one of the interviews with one of the actors or something like that. If you think that you're on top of the world, this too shall pass. If you think that you're at the bottom at wherever you are right now, these too shall pass. Yeah. So always have that mentality within your mind, and that will keep you humble.
These too shall pass. Yeah. I've heard that many times when I was like going through heartbreak and stuff. I've read these two short pass. Oh, it's so true.
Yeah, it really. I have that video somewhere. I mean, it's a very famous video.
But we'll clip it up here. Oh, yeah, enjoy the video.
In that same interview, the guy who acted in Robert De Niro, one of my favorite actors, he also said, just become. If you think that you're on top of the world, he's seen people going up, he's seen actors going up, he's seen actors going down. Some who are successful, some who are not so successful going down, some of them going up. You see, just become.
Yeah.
Just relax. Take it easy.
You're by stressing yourself out.
Yeah.
These two short not do yourself up. Well, that's a great advice. Actually, I mean, I learned quite a fair bit from you today. Oh,
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for sharing, man.
Especially when I see a lot of agents and some of my colleagues, they tend to flex. That's the word. They tend to flex a lot on their income, tend to flex a lot on their holidays, their clothes, their branded items, their cars. I mean, you have to have that mentality that these two shall pass. Today, the market is doing very well. Tomorrow, the market might not be as well as today. So have that level of humility within you, and I think that is very important as an agent and as a person that felt successful person.
Wow. What about your mom? You spoke about your dad. Your mom have any part to play?
My mom, as far as I remember, she's always been a very simple person. And to a certain point, I would say that I take it from my mom to always be simple. No matter how much you are earning, no matter how well you think you're doing, it's simple. Don't overextend yourself. Just be happy with whatever you have, whatever simple things that comes about to you depending on your stick.
Yep. Well, that's really, really great stuff, man.
Right.
Not so much from the road. Okay, so I have my final question for you then. For anyone watching this out there, and let's say they want to come in touch with you, they want to ask you questions, do you have any pieces of advice for them if they are struggling in life and they are thinking about doing something big and they want to be something like you?
So anything or what you want, but listeners or
yeah, anything. It can be anyone watching this video right now. If you had 5 minutes and the whole world was watching, what would you say?
I would say these two shall pass. So whatever that you're facing in today, it might be at the lowest point of your life, it might be at the highest point of your life. Just remember, nothing stays where it is forever. So give it time. These two shall pass. And if you're ever wanting to start anything, go into it 100%. First and foremost, you have to find your target client. Who is it that you want to serve? Who is it that you enjoy serving? Who is it that be? And constantly find ways to prospect these clients. And constantly find ways to add value to these people. You cannot be serving everyone. And you cannot be providing all kind of service. To find your target client, learn a way to reach them by buyer prospecting and learn a way to constantly add value to them.
Okay, I have a bonus question then. When you are not in this world anymore, what do you want people to say about you?
So deep, man.
Yeah. Just a bonus final closing question.
I would say that I really hope that people would think of me as a guy who is successful, a guy who is generous, a guy who is humble.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot, man, for this.
No problem.
And learn so much from you, bro.
Jen, thank you.
Wow, that was fun.